Okay, now there is a very, very good chance I could get a lot of hate for this series that I'm going to do. But basically, I'm going to start watching classic movies and reviewing them, the ones that I've not yet seen. Now, there are quite a lot. Then you go through a lot of lists that people consider classic movies. I'm not going to give you any examples because there's a lot that I'm going to try and get through myself. But yeah, there's a lot out there that I have not seen yet, and actually get quite a lot of hate already about it from friends that say someone like me who's trying to be a movie reviewer and claims to be a kind of movie buff. The fact that I haven't seen these movies is kind of downright diabolical. So I'm going to start watching them and I'm going to start reviewing them, and I'm starting with Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Now, I've literally just finished watching this movie, and I'm kind of ashamed that it's taken me so long to watch this because it's actually really, really good. Now, I'm going to explain why I sound so surprised by that statement. As a child, not as a child, as a person that kind of grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, a lot of the movies that I watch come around, from the mid 80s onwards. 80s movies are my jam. They're my thing. I love 80s movies so much. But obviously the movies that carry on after that are the ones that I really enjoy watching. It's very hard for me to watch older films from the 70s and the 60s and even further back without kind of getting bored. It's not a slight on the movie in any way. It's just the fact that it's very hard to get invested in those movies. I'm not sure what it is. There must be something in my, something deep in my subconscious that won't let me kind of get into the movie and really enjoy it. But it's that kind of thing that has held me back for so long from watching Jaws, because it's a 70s movie and I always think it's meant to be a horror movie. How scary can it be? One shark, how much tension can there be in that movie? But my God, was I wrong. This was very tension filled. Towards the end, it kind of lags a little bit with the tension, and it's more funny than it is scary. I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be a scary movie. You just assume that it is because of the way it's portrayed in pop culture and media all around the world. It is a quintessential horror movie. But yeah, I got really into this movie, and not for the horror movies, side of it, more the story. And it's actually a really good story. Spoilers for all of this, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I already know the movie. Like I say, from pop culture and media, you can pick up enough of this movie and know the beats that are going to happen anyway. There's so many just famous scenes from this movie that I've already seen, or seen someone doing a kind of a mocking of it. So I already knew the movie, I already knew the storyline, but it was so good that it still kept me entertained. And it's very rare that happens. If you know what a movie is and what's going to happen, it's very hard to stick with it. But this movie really did it for me. I mean, straight away, the first 2 minutes, there's a lady running along the beach. A guy goes to join her and they go swimming naked. Obviously, that's just what you need from this kind of movie. That already piques my interest. A naked lady jumping in the water. And straight away she gets eaten by a shark. And I know that scene already. I've seen that scene before because there's so many stories about that actress and how she was not prepared for the kind of the thrashing. Basically, if you, the scene is basically she just gets thrown around in the water and you just see her head and she's screaming and she's just going from side to side. I already know about that scene because she wasn't prepared for that, and I think she actually got quite angry with the director, but he kind of said to her, we're leaving this in because that's what you want. You want that kind of genuine fear factor from your actors. I mean, there's stories about it all across movies that some people weren't prepared for certain scenes, and those scenes are the best in cinema because they are genuine. But yeah, straight away this happens, and then the new man on the scene, the chief, he hears about this, and they find a dead body, and they want to close down the beach, but that darned, I'm assuming, Prime Minister, mayor, he's the mayor. He doesn't want to close the beach down because it's the 4th of July. They are, a summer town where people come from all around to enjoy their beach and spend money in their little town, and he needs that money, so he's not closing down the beach for whatever reason, that main reason, but it's just madness. He's an absolutely crazy guy that there's obviously something wrong. A few minutes later, a little kid gets eaten in front of everyone. Everyone sees this kid being eaten by this shark, and he's still like, no, we're going to leave the beach open because, we need the money. That obviously wasn't a shark. That was, what was it he said? They said it was a boat propeller. Storytelling, I don't know, but it's just absolutely crazy. But then, the chief, he gets his shark expert, Hooper, played by the amazing Richard Dreyfuss. What a guy. And they grab the local nutcase fisherman that has spent his whole life catching and killing sharks. That Quint, he is crazily amazing. That guy had me in stitches, and he was so compelling and funny and just genuine, and I fell in love with that character. I was very, spoiler alert, I was very upset when he died towards the end, but that was a good scene when he got it. We'll get there, but they get on the boat and they go hunting, and they find the shark, and they caught a shark previously, or they all assumed was a shark, but the shark expert said this isn't the one. This clearly isn't the same shark that's been eating the people, the residents. So they go out, this shark was a 13-foot shark. Like, that's not scary enough. They get out in the water, and eventually they find this shark, and it's a 25-foot shark, and it is scary. It really is. There's no way to sort of tell you how incredible and intimidating this shark is until you see it. I mean, the prop makers for making that are just, especially in the 70s, I don't want to knock the 70s as a decade, but you see CGI now and what they can do, and the fact that back in the 70s they had to do this stuff for real, and that makes it even more impressive for me. A lot of that stuff that is practical is so much more incredible because it is practical, it is real, and there's a real earthy heartness to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean. But yeah, it's great. They find the shark, and they spend the next good half an hour of the movie trying to catch it, and bonding. These three bond, and they do a scene where they're comparing scars, and it's really weird and it's very intimate. It's very intimate when they're sharing, the stories of how they got these scars. And then Quint tells his story about when he was in the Navy and the boat went down and 1,100 men went into the water and 700 plus were eaten by sharks, and they were just floating around for 5 days. It's an incredible dialogue. It really, I was so drawn in, and I was listening to his every word like he was telling me in person, and it was such a beautiful story. It really was. If you watch any part of this movie, just watch that scene where he's describing the SS Indianapolis, I believe it was. Breathtaking. It was so good. But yeah, then the shark decides to attack the boat again and literally rip it to shreds, and it's pretty crazy. They're trying to catch it. Hooper goes down in the shark cage, and the shark just rips it to pieces like it was made out of plastic. It's so funny. I know it's not supposed to be funny. It's very, there's a lot of tension there, and it is quite scary, but at the same time I was wetting myself laughing because the shark just goes through it like it was nothing. And then not long after that, the shark jumps onto the boat. It was crazy and stupid, but at the same time so brilliant. It just jumps up, lands on the boat, and obviously with its weight, it's pulled the boat down. They're sliding down the boat. Quint goes straight into the mouth of this shark. It was incredible. It was so, like I say, it was so funny. It's not supposed to be funny. I'm guessing I'm probably not the only one that found a lot of humour in that, but I was just laughing so hard. But yeah, they previously they got these gas canisters on this boat, and Hooper says to the chief, "Don't mess around with those because they will explode." So at one point, the shark is in the boat, and the chief throws the canister in his mouth. He swims off, and when he comes back, the chief shoots it, the shark blows up, and, you know, hooray, the day is saved. But what a ride it really is. Like I say, I hate myself for waiting so long for watching this movie. It was really, really, really good. I had such a good time watching this movie. Who knew that Jaws was such a good classic movie? Who knew? I didn't. Everyone else does. Like I say, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for doing this series, but hey ho. What a movie. What a great movie. You're going to need a bigger boat. Like, I knew that line was coming, but when he said it, I kind of cheered to myself. In here, I cheered because it was such a funny line. He's so serious. Oh, God. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this review and you don't want to give me hate for spending such a long time of my life not watching Jaws, I'm 34 soon and I've only just seen Jaws. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. It will do wonders because I'm really starting to enjoy doing this again. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.